Alrighty, hi guys. Really late one today, but here we are. Me Made May, day 15. Yesterday was a bit of an epic disaster, and that video was, yeah, all over the place. So today is actually going to be a really, really brief one because yesterday was such a disaster and I broke a bowl and my overlocker really decided it wasn't going to sew. It's like fine today. Yesterday, no, not having a bar of it. The camera did weird things on my phone. That video came out really very high contrast. The white of my collar practically glowed in the dark. So it's actually meant that today I've had a lot more work to do than I thought I was going to have to. And I've had a client who's put a lot of work on, which is fantastic. And I've also created some work for myself by putting a whole lot of stuff up for sale. I'll talk about that in a minute actually. And I'm also going to just tell you today, because I don't really have a lot to tell you about my outfit, just a couple of my favourite pattern making books, because a lot of the stuff that I wear, I've done the pattern myself. And I initially taught myself pattern making. So what I'm wearing today is this Ponte, I think, crepe, whatever, tube skirt. Very, very basic. I think this was pattern was taken off another existing skirt, and it's the same front and back. There's no elastic or anything, and it's super, super easy pattern. So nice if you wanted to learn pattern making, nice basic one to start with. The top is a pattern that I made as well. It was a design that I did for my product range, for my lingerie product range, but I didn't end up using this one. I mean, most of the stuff that I do is a little bit more showy and va-va-voom, and this kind of came off as a bit demure for the range, but I wear it all the time, so maybe I should add it. I don't do this, we call it crushed velvet anymore, because my supplier for it just kept giving me worse and worse quality fabric that I just dropped it. But I could do it in a plain velvet, and I still do have this mesh brocade available. So yeah, like if you like and you think I should revisit it, let me know. So yeah, it's just that's my bra. You can see underneath, so that's not part of the top. And then it just scoops down at the back. It's a bodysuit, high cut, and then little hook crutch. Yesterday, to complete my all over crazily wonderful day, I said that the bodysuit that I was wearing yesterday, which is from my range, could be done with or without the clip crutch. That's not true, because if it didn't have that, you couldn't get it on. So yeah, sorry about that, folks. I committed to posting every day, and so far I've posted every day, but yesterday was possibly my worst moment. Alrighty, so what was the other thing I was saying? Oh, yeah. On my Instagram channel today, on IGTV, which is goblin.fruit, if you want to follow me on Instagram, I have put a little video detailing a whole bunch of pieces that I've put on sale. Sample pieces, things that were from shows, things that were for shoots, are at 70% off. So if you want to see the sorts of things that I make even, there is a little video on Insta at the moment, if that interests you. It's on my feed. And those items will go onto my website eventually if they don't sell on Insta, but if they sell on Insta first, then they sell on Insta first. Pattern making. So I self-taught myself pattern making. I wanted to start with lingerie. So I originally trained as a production designer. So a production designer for film and theatre, so sets and costumes. And I was mostly interested in costumes for dance. When I graduated, and it's not an industry where there's a whole heap of work, and it's not really a particularly fun timetable, and it's freelance work, I actually started doing different things, like trying to make costumes for individual performers. The burlesque movement had really just started in Sydney. alongside MySpace and all of those sort of blooming alternative places where alternative people could see representations of other alternative people, and it was, yeah, fantastic culture at the time. Was really, yeah, really exploded. And I wanted to do more costuming. I started with doing pasties. I'd already done a little bit of lingerie stuff in the past, like just making stuff for myself. So I decided to really get into sewing and making lingerie. And I taught myself pattern making with this book. It's still available. I think the cover now looks different. I'll show ya. So it's pattern making for lingerie and beachwear. Lingerie, beachwear and leisurewear by Haggar. This, I think, I actually can't remember where I got it. I think I got it secondhand by chance. But I think you can still get secondhand copies. I think it's not cheap, but it's really good. 100% recommend. The next book, when I went on to do garment sewing, this book is quite expensive, and if you're a metric person, it's not metric, it's in inches. And you'll probably notice that I do tend to flip backwards and forwards when I'm talking about things between inches and centimeters. Like, I'll always kind of do body measurements in inches, but sometimes pattern adjustments and things centimeters. Just depends, just seems to depend. But yeah, so this one is Pattern Making for Fashion Design, Helen Joseph-Armstrong. And there's pretty much everything you could think of trying in here, like every kind of collar, different types of darts. It's massive. But yeah, so one of my favorites. And yeah, if I was trying to learn something, I would probably go to this book first now. When I went to fashion school and actually proper learnt with proper teachers, this was the pattern making book that they recommended, and everybody, I think, in fashion schools recommends this book. To be honest, I think they recommend it because it's less expensive than those ones. It's not because it's better. This is Metric Pattern Cutting for Women's Wear by Winifred, Aldrich, and it's a classic. Like, it's been around forever, multiple different covers, all sorts of stuff. It's good, it's just brief. I just find it really brief. But as you can see, it's not a big book. But yeah, it's fine. If you just want something cheaper, it's fine. Like, it's what they recommend at schools. But if you want to go really quite a bit cheaper, or just want to try something a little bit out there, there are lots of like vintage books around that are great. This is an 80s one. This is Creative Cutting, Easy Ways to Design and Make Stylish Clothes with Over 1,000 Variations, which is by Diana Hawkins. And the blocks that I've made off of this, I don't know why I decided to go from my from the blocks in other books to this book. I think it's just because it was laid out very simply. Like, to make a block, there can be lots and lots of steps and lots of maths. And I just thought that this was a really easy way. So, like, and I've had a lot of success with this. I have, mind you, recommended this to other people, and one of those people really had no success. And I still feel bad to this day because I didn't have time to retrace what she'd done and help her and try and figure out what was wrong. And I wish I had, because I think that there was just a step had gone wrong, because otherwise I think this is a great book. Yeah, like, doing circle skirts. I mean, there are great online resources, but if you're the type of person like me who learns from a book, these are my favourite pattern making books. Okay, so that's all I have to share today. I hope this video is coming up okay, because it really, really is the dying of the light. But yeah, stay safe. Talk soon.